Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I am doing a landscape with a donkey in using Caran dash coloured pencils. Now I am not very happy about doing landscapes with coloured pencils. I'm not very experienced in it, and so far I haven't really made a good one. So we'll see how I get on this time. I always prefer doing them with watercolour, so this is a new thing for me. I'm starting at the top with the sky, and already I've found problems in that it just doesn't work as well for me as it does in watercolour. So probably I need a lot more practice. So I'm coming in now and just doing the hills behind and also some of the green trees. I think my problem is that I can't make it subtle enough. So maybe I need to work on that. So the background should always be much paler, and I've done it too dark. And I've definitely done the clouds too dark. So a problem with softening, so really need to think about that. But as with all drawings, I'm carrying on because it might improve. And you don't want to think, oh right, I really made a hash of this, I'm just going to ditch it, because it might evolve and be something really nice and something you're really proud of. So persevere. And then if at the end you want to tear it up, then do so. Doesn't really matter, does it? It's just, okay, you're spending time, so you could say, well, I'm wasting my time. No, you're never wasting your time when you're practicing. Never, ever, ever. So you are learning. You might not realize you're learning, but you are. And the best way to learn to draw, to do any sort of art, is by practicing. So all this is, for me, a practice, so hopefully it will be for you too. And I really love these pencils and like the way they feel, so I want to get used to using them. So the desire is there, so hopefully after a few landscapes I will get used to them. Just doing the bushes here. And I haven't done many layers. This is just a sketch, so normally if I was doing a watercolour I would do lots and lots of layers, so I should probably have done more layers. I mean, I did do more than one, but it probably would have benefited from being even more layers. When I come to the donkey, which is a bit I enjoy doing, you'll see that I do far more layers. I suppose this bit I found a bit tedious. Not the trees so much as the grass. I did find that quite tedious. But maybe I just haven't got the hang of it yet. Now you'll notice where the donkey appears, I haven't actually coloured him in at all. I haven't put masking fluid on him, I have just not coloured in where the donkey is. So that will mean when I finish doing all the background, the donkey will appear white, and then I will colour him in. If I was doing a watercolour, then I would have masked out the donkey beforehand and then coloured it in afterwards. I guess you can use masking fluid with coloured pencil. I don't know what would happen because it's kind of a rubber solution, so when you drew over the top, if it would actually lift off. I'm not sure. Do coloured pencil artists use masking fluid? Good question. No idea. I just never have. But And I don't think in any of the videos I've seen people have used it either, but it would be interesting to know if people do use it. Now coming here, drawing in his shadow, which will make the grass maybe appear a little bit more realistic. I don't know. And I have done more layers on that middle bit. You can see sort of from where the rope hangs down from the donkey, where he's tethered. And now then I will go and do the bits outside of it. So I have made a mental note of what colours I've used, so that when I come to do it outside of where the tether is, then I will be using the same colours in the same order, so that it won't appear like the left hand bit is different to the bit underneath where the tether is. I hope. And this is the shadow again, so that's at least 3 or 4 layers. So you can see the difference there between the layers, because I've not done the bit outside where he's tethered as many layers as I have on the bit inside. So gradually you'll see that building up so that it looks identical. And remember, grass has dry bits in it. It's not all one colour. So you have to add these other colours to it as well to make it look realistic. And it's also got bits of weeds growing in it, because it is just rough meadow grass. It's not a golf course. Or bowling green. Perfect grass. So I think this is about the 3rd or 4th layer. So although I said at the beginning I wasn't doing layers, I really have done quite a few. But I have to admit, I did find this bit just a bit boring, a bit tedious, because it just goes on and on and on, and there's not enough definition for me, for my liking. But that's just a personal preference. So making his shadow much darker so that it does contrast well with the grass, and that you can see that there is a difference there. It also makes the donkey not be sort of flying through the grass. A shadow anchors your object or your subject to the ground. Now coming to my favourite bit, the donkey. I think coloured pencils are really good for fur and hair, because you have the pencil strokes, which makes it look like fur or hair. And as long as you carry on in the same direction as the hair or fur would be growing, then you can make it look really quite realistic. And once he gets a face, then he becomes much more adorable and donkey-like. Donkeys have quite long hair. It's much longer than a horse's, and so you want to kind of, it's quite coarse, but you want to kind of make it look fluffy. And again, lots of layers. This is just the first. And he does have a kind of fringe, or bangs as the American would call them, which is where his mane comes over. Now he was quite a multicoloured donkey, so gives me a lot of experience at trying out different colours, because he was quite a patchwork donkey really. And I came across this donkey when my daughter, my friend and I were walking the Camino Inglés to Santiago de Compostela, and it had been a really hard day and my knee was throbbing, and in fact I couldn't go on and had to go to hospital the next day because I was suffering from tendinitis. But that's my fault because I hadn't prepared for doing the Camino. But although I couldn't carry on this time, we did go back and finish it, my daughter and I, later in the year. So I did get my Compostela, my credentials from the office. So I have my certificate saying I've done the pilgrimage. And we do plan on doing more. My daughter has done it loads of times, various different routes. And my friend has just done the Camino Portugués, which is the next one that I want to do. But I do need to get a little bit fitter. So maybe next spring, my daughter and I can do it. That would be something really nice to look forward to. But it was amazing. And I really, really enjoyed it, even if my knee was killing me at the time. But I guess that's what happens when you get to 72 and you are not particularly fit and you decide to walk a Camino. Maybe not the best idea, but I promise I will get fitter for the next one. So you can already see that I'm coming in and making him more of a patchwork donkey. So I was totally absorbed in drawing the donkey. Felt very different to how I felt doing the background. Giving him a kind of a creamy coloured base coat in a lot of places. And then he's got some nice kind of very orangey brown bits on him and some really dark brown. And of course under his belly it would be darker because the light isn't hitting him so much there. He's also got some grey in him. And what I've decided that I will do for my next video is the same picture, but I'll do it in watercolour. And so we'll see how different it is, and also how much easier or not it is for me, who's more used to watercolours, to do. But I did enjoy particularly doing the donkey in this one. I probably find that the donkey is better in coloured pencil than it is in watercolour. So we'll just have to wait and see, and maybe in the comments after you've seen the next one you can tell me which one you prefer. I did spend quite a while keep coming back and refining the donkey's fur and colours and adding more and more layers, making the shadows darker around his body to try to give him that fullness, because donkeys always have quite large tummies. They're quite round. Now trying to do something to improve the clouds, because I kind of gave up on them because I'd done that black bit or dark grey bit too dark. So I'm trying to erase it and see if I can make it a little bit clearer, a bit more subtle. Now I'm adding white highlights to the donkey and his fur with a Posca pen, which will just improve the way he looks and make it kind of pop a little bit better. A Posca pen is also very good for kind of putting in whiskers and little stray hairs on top of the background to make his fur look more realistic. Always keep going over and over and refining things all the time, because you notice something, you change one thing and then something else needs changing. And here adding some highlights onto the leaves, plus some little flowers. Well, I hope you've enjoyed my video today, and if you have, please consider subscribing to my channel and please like and share. Hopefully I'll see you next time when I do the watercolour of the donkey. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.